guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Arlene. On today's video, I want to show you guys, I guess I should say a haul, but it's not really a haul. I feel like a haul is when you buy all their perfumes all at once, but these are all brand new additions to my collection that I have not yet talked about on this channel at all. Some of these perfumes are brand new releases that are very popular, very hyped. Not very many, but at least one of them is. Some of them are old releases that have been around on the market for a long time, but they're new to me, new to my nose, new to my collection. Some of them are designer, some of them are Middle Eastern. So let's just get right into it, okay? Today we're gonna be going over 16 perfumes. So if you don't like long videos, sorry, this one might be a long one. And if you do, get yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, a nice soda, a glass of water, whatever is your thing. Have a seat, get cozy, get comfortable, and get ready because we're gonna get into all of them. I'm not going to be reading notes. I don't have the notes of these perfumes memorized. I'm just gonna go off my nose and I'm gonna post the notes somewhere up here like I usually do, and you guys can watch and follow along and let me know how my nose is doing, I guess, because I'm just gonna be telling you what it smells like to me. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the very first one is one that I saw one of my favorite YouTube influencers, one of the first ones that I started following, talk about. And this is Rahik by Nusuk. This is a new Middle Eastern, hyped up, it says here Rahik perfume. The bottle is quite pretty, very ornate. You have this three-dimensional honeycomb. It feels three-dimensional. You got this beautiful little bee here. And this, unlike Ethery, really is a honey smelling perfume. Even though Ethery looks honeycomb-like and I thought it was gonna be a honey perfume, I'm not disappointed by the scent. I do love it, but it wasn't a honey perfume. It's more of a vanilla, floral kind of perfume. Now this, a lot of these perfumes I didn't talk about right away. Some of them I've purchased. This one I think was one of the first of all these, I think. I've purchased them over the last couple of months. This has probably been sitting in my collection for over a month because I didn't want to talk about it until I've had given it some time to sit. When I first got this in the mail and I opened it and I sprayed it, I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed because I got Burt's Bees. That smell of Burt's Bees, chapstick, Burt's Bees, hand lotion. If you know, you know. It's this weird waxy animalic sort of honey, and I was very unpleased. And I still get that a little bit when you just smell the nozzle, but as this has had some time to sit, the white florals are coming out and it's starting to smell a little bit nicer. By the way, the atomizer is really nice. That spritz creates like a nice big cloud, which is very pretty. It's got more now of the citrus and the florals that makes it smell a lot better than when I first got it, that I feel like it was too much just waxy animalic honey. The honey is still a bit on the waxy side, super uber sweet honey. This isn't like vanilla sweet, even though it probably does have vanilla in it. It's got a very realistic honey scent, but then you've got, I think, some white florals in there. I think there's some citrus in there that just kind of gives it this really pretty, soft, natural girl vibe. It's almost like if it was a sweet freshie for a freshie girl. Like if you're a freshie girl and you like everything clean and soapy and sort of like citrusy and just gentle, it's like a sweet honey perfume for people who tend to like that because it's not super heavy. I don't think it is. Even though it is a sweet perfume, even though it is a honey perfume. So I don't want to say that anything is a safe blind buy. I think honey is one of those notes that it's like a very polarizing note in perfumery. I think you're either gonna love it or hate it. Some people hate honey notes. For me, I guess it depends. I don't think this smells anything like Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal, which I do have. That is a far more thick, heavy, syrupy, dense perfume, more for like an evening. This I feel like you can pull off during the day. But if you don't like honey, I can see how this can be a major fail for you because there is a significant amount of honey in this perfume. It's not just a note and then there's like a bunch of other things. There is other things, but it's very honey centric. So if you don't like honey, be careful. But if you do like honey, and I dig it. At first I was not happy because I'm like, this is just straight up Burt's Bees. I don't like it. But when I've worn it, even better than on the paper, like when I've worn it around on myself, I do enjoy it. I'm like, oh, this smells pleasant. I'm enjoying it very much. So Can't speak on longevity yet or like how it wears throughout the day because I've only worn it at home. Yes, I make dents in my perfume. I spray a lot. I come back to them and revisit them. I do little drive-bys where I'll spray some on my hand or spray some on my clothing that day while I'm at home. But I haven't worn it out to work yet. I'm kind of waiting for more like the spring season to wear this, because right now I'm very into my fall and winter perfumes. But I will do future videos, you know, to do updates on maceration, right? Like how it has performed after sitting and how it performs in a wear. But I find this to be pretty, and I was very, very worried when I first got it. I was like, oh no, this is a fail. But after like a couple of weeks of sitting, it started to really blossom into what I think it's meant to be. And I think it's just gonna get better. So I'm kind of glad, I'm happy about this one. The next one I talked about in my last video, that I tried the Dua brand dupe of this perfume, and I fell so in love with it. In fact, today I'm doing laundry, and I'm doing the laundry of the week. And as I'm moving over all my dirty laundry into the basket, I smelled this perfume. I wear perfume every day, and I put perfume on my scrubs every day. So I wash every single scrub that I've worn because I have perfume on it. I couldn't smell any other perfume except this one. This one, as I was just transferring clothing from the hamper to the basket to take it to the machine, I smelled it. I'm like, where is it? Where is it? And I'm like picking up the different scrub sets. I'm like, there it is. This is none other than an expensive niche. This is Vanille Leather by BDK. I bought this on Mercari for $117. Plus tax, plus delivery, yada yada. I think it comes out to like 130 something, almost 140. Not bad considering the price tag on these perfumes brand new. But for me, this was a gift for myself. This was a splurge because it smells so beautiful to me. There are mixed reviews on Fragrantica. Some people will say they don't smell any vanilla or any leather and that they just get a bunch of florals. Yes, this has a bunch of florals. I believe there's violet in the opening. There must be also either freesia or tuberose, jasmine, maybe some rose. I'm not entirely sure. There is leather in the base and there is vanilla. But when I was reading the story about how they came up with this perfume, the designer was saying that he wanted to capture the essence of what leather would smell like, but using florals, like making florals combined in a way so that it kind of has like a leathery smell. But there is leather in it. However, I have to be very careful with leather. Like, I'm not too crazy about leather in certain perfumes. I feel like it can be a little masculine or just a little too stinky. In this one, it's like a soft suede. And then you have that vanilla. It smells like somebody just like spilled a little bit of vanilla extract inside of a suede bag. And then you smell the suede. It's just, it's not super, super sweet. It's not gourmand by any means, but it's not like spicy or peppery like Baby Cat. I don't think this is spicy at all, but I do feel like the florals, especially the blue violet smell, adds something kind of like mysterious to it. So it's not just vanilla and leather, like that suede and vanilla combo is lovely, but then you have those nice florals that are cool and refreshing that kind of like tone it down a little bit. It's just, if I had to say what color this is, in my mind I would think it's like a soft purpley gray, like almost like a beige gray with a sort of purpley undertone. And it's just so freaking beautiful. Like, the smell of it is, I find it to be perfectly unisex. I think it's great for a man, great for a woman. It's not super loud and projecting, but if you watch my last video, I talk about how I can smell this across my office on my jacket the very next day. So it doesn't seem like one that's going to be very loud, but when you put it on, this is so long lasting. I was surprised. And I'm very happy to have this in my collection. This is my very first and so far my only BDK perfume. I'm very picky about when I'm going to buy something expensive like this. I have a dupe for Rouge Smoking, which is Francique 107.9. I could have bought the original, but I didn't because that dupe is so good. And then the Dua brand, the bottle's only 1.1 ounce. It's tiny, and for the price, might as well just get the whole 100 ml 3.4 ounce of the real deal. And I'm so happy that I did. I love this. The next one I ordered, because if you watched one of my last videos, not the last one, but the one before, where I tried a bunch of samples, and I tried the replica sample, and I absolutely fell in love with this one immediately when I sprayed it on my skin. This is Jazz Club by Replica. Now, this is supposed to be a man's perfume. It's even marked on Fragrantica. This is for men. It's not considered a man and woman, unisex. A lot of perfumes these days are labeled unisex. I'm surprised that this is not, because I don't like masculine perfumes for myself. On a man, they smell wonderful. On me, I don't want to. And I have some unisex perfumes that I'm like, well, it leans kind of masculine, fine, but I like it. And I've given up some that were women's perfumes or unisex perfumes that I'm like, this does not smell so like something a woman should be wearing. But when I smelled this, I was like, abso-freaking-lutely, this is so good. This is not an all-year scent. I do feel like this is a fall and winter season scent. And it has a beautiful tobacco note combined with a rum that and it has like a perfuminess that I find it to be similar to my beloved Michael Kors Super Gorgeous. Ooh, it's too much alcohol. And I was looking for something similar to that because I love that so much. And I was very much on the hunt for like a good tobacco. And for this fall season, and this one just hits the spot. This is like, besides the Michael Kors Super Gorgeous, this is to me one of the best tobacco perfumes for women on the market, in my opinion. I haven't smelled them all. I did try Guerlain honey tobacco. I found it to be a little too smoky. I don't think it's bad. I just don't feel like I would feel comfortable wearing it all day long. I feel like the smokiness after a while would bother me. I did try By the Fireplace, the same thing. It was a tad too smoky. But this is just so gorgeous. And yes, there is something in there that smells kind of masculine. Maybe it's cardamom, but I'm really coming around to the smell of cardamom. I'm very much enjoying it. There's something kind of peppery that's kind of like baby cat-ish. It's like if Michael Kors and baby cat kind of like were mixed together. But it's sweet, it's aromatic, it's rich, it's not too smoky. It's like fresh, dry tobacco, like a tobacco that has not been lit. It's not burning. And it's so, so, so sexy. Now, speaking of tobacco, let's go over another fragrance that I ordered during my tobacco craze. And that way you guys know that I have put my nose on a few different tobacco scents. This is called The Tobacco Elixir by a brand called Flavia. The bottle looks different than how I saw it, like when I ordered it. I think I found this it's on Fragrantica. It's called Flavia. I'll put it down here. And I think it was called Vanille Tobacco or Vanilla Tobacco, and I guess it was too similar to the Tom Ford. This is duping Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, and so they had to change the way the bottle looked or the name or something. This smells very similar to honey tobacco or tobacco honey from Guerlain, because I did try a sample of it and it is very similar. So if you like Guerlain $400 tobacco honey, you can get this. Now, I still don't know what Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille smells like because I've never got my nose on that. But this was one of those instances where I was like, I could pay $15 for a 2 milliliter sample of Tobacco Vanille, or I could pay, I don't even remember how much I paid for this. Maybe less than 20 bucks. I probably did pay less than 20 bucks for a full bottle of something that's supposed to smell like Tobacco Vanille. And I think I'm gonna like it because I'm very much into the whole tobacco vanille, not the tobacco vanille, tobacco scents. And why would I pay that much money for a little 2 ml to then love it, to then pay that much money again for a dupe? Because I'm not gonna pay for the Tom Ford one, right? If the dupes are just as good. And there's so many dupes on the market for tobacco vanille, so many. But this one was like the most affordable and the most like kind of like not talked about. And I don't know why, I just got curious to give it a shot. And let me tell you, it is just like Guerlain honey tobacco. It has a honey note. It has a fresh, sweet tobacco note. It's not exactly like this. These are very different. Give me one sec. Let me see something here. Let me see if I can tell you what the differences are. Okay, so Jazz Club has something more fresh. Jazz Club has a freshness combined, something aromatic, herbally fresh, combined with that rum and that tobacco. Maybe there's no honey in this. While this one is more of that rich honey with a little bit more of a smoky tobacco, kind of like in honey tobacco from Guerlain, which I kind of did not like. So if I had to pick one of these two to be my one and only tobacco fragrance, I would go with Jazz Club. But I'm kind of happy I have this. I don't dislike it, but it's not my favorite of the two. I feel like maybe layering the two might be nice. This is definitely only a winter fall kind of like vibe, but it's very unisex too. Maybe one day in the future I'll declutter this. Depends. Let's see how much I wear it. But I don't feel like I would ever declutter this because I very much love this. So this is a like and this is a love. Moving on to the next one. This one is relatively new. It is quite hyped up. It has been talked about a lot. This is a dupe for Parfum de Marly's Altair. Is that how you say it? I'm not sure. This is Khatlaj Island Vanilla Dunes. And I got this on eBay for like $39. I was so curious because I'd seen so many videos of women talking about Altair and how much it's like, it's a unisex perfume, even though it's marketed for the men's line, and that it's very yummy, delicious vanilla. Let me tell you what this smells like. And I'm not saying I don't like it, but just so that you don't waste your money, okay? I've never tried the original Altair, but I read a lot of reviews. There's Liquid Brune by French Avenue. There's one from Lattafa, the one with the horses on it. I forget the name. There's a lot of brands that are Middle Eastern that are duping that Parfum de Marly. This is one of them, and I decided to go with this one after reading so many reviews and people talking about, you know, which one they thought was better. The reviews convinced me that this one might be the best dupe for it. And now recently I learned, thanks to you guys, my little sample that I showed you in one of my last videos. That one was by Aynash and it's called Altar, right? Or was it Altar by Aynash? And it's also kind of a dupe for Altair. But anyway, I'm not going to buy more dupes of that perfume. I have this, and I'm going to tell you what I believe this smells like. If you take Kamarkawa, Fursan White, and Casablanca by Swiss Arabian and put them all together, that's what this smells like. This has a very strong appley note that is similar to Casablanca by Swiss Arabian, which is a very, very cheap perfume. I still have it sitting. I've had it since like February or March. It's still one that I've debated getting rid of. I'm holding on to it just to see what happens because for me, it is quite screechy. I don't like apple in perfumes. I got rid of Sublime by Bade El Oud. I don't like Eden Juicy Apple. I think I tried a small sample of that one. I don't like apple the way it comes across in perfume. Some people love it. If you love apple, great. I do love Kamarkawa and I do love Fursan White. So that's why when I sprayed this one, I've been wearing it lately at home. I've been wearing it, spraying it. I put it on paper. I haven't worn it to work yet, but I'm going to one of these days. The sprayers, the Khatlaj sprayers are amazing. This immediately, right off the bat, in the first spray, gave me something masculine. I want to say that there's bergamot and maybe cardamom together in the opening because I get like that cardamom spiciness with a little bit of that zesty freshness of bergamot. But it isn't long before that Casablanca sort of appley vibe kind of like comes in. And then there's all these richness. There's like a powdery vanilla, kind of like in Fursan White, but then we have like those rich spices like cinnamon and clove, and maybe there's sandalwood and all these other things that I get that are similar to Kamarkawa. And I really, really like it. I feel like it was borderlining with masculinity and also a little too reminding me of Casablanca. And those two reasons were kind of like why I was like, I don't know if I'm going to keep this. But then this morning I woke up and I decided, let's try it again. I sprayed it on my pajamas, but then I got curious and I took my Ciao Riffs, which is a dupe for Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy, and I layered it together. Oh my God. This, if you just add a little bit of sweet orange blossom and combine that together, was amazing. So that combination alone, I'm keeping this one. I'm keeping this one because I have a lot of this scent profile. I have the original Love Don't Be Shy. I have this one. I have a Juliana's perfumes called A Night to Remember. I just finished my Fakama from Lattafa, which is a dupe of Love Don't Be Shy. I have a lot of the Love Don't Be Shy DNA, and wearing it by itself, I love it, but I feel like it's kind of like a little bit like like it's missing something. Like I feel like this is great for layering, and this combination, oh my god, you guys, if you have anything similar, anything that's very orange blossomy, sugary, marshmallow, like Love Don't Be Shy, like, or one of the dupes, and you have liquid brune or something to this sort of like effect, oh my god, the combination, this alone is beautiful. It's just, for me personally, if you love Casablanca, you are probably gonna love this. But for me, since I don't love Casablanca, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I feel like adding the orange blossom made it so much better. So we'll see how this does in my collection. We'll see how it sits, how it changes over time, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that one. The next two that I'm going to talk about are brand new to my collection, but they've been around for a very long time. They are old perfumes, and they are by the House of Malbousin. I have a lot of Malbousin perfumes, and I've been so curious about this one for so long. I was waiting on my eBay to be like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This was a tester, so I don't know how long this has been open, like meaning how long, once you open it and you spray it and air gets into the atomizer, there's air in the bottle, it's already started the aging process. So I don't know how old this bottle is, but I didn't pay a lot of money. I think I paid like $22. This is Malbousin, and I don't think there's a name for this perfume. It's just called Malbousin. It's a purple bottle. This is the EDP. I know there's an EDT, which has like an iridescent purpley kind of thing. The bottle's not purple, sorry, the box is purple. This didn't come in the original box. It came like in a plastic wrapping. But this, I was so curious to try it because I'm in my fall era perfumes where I wanted something ambery, something rich, something vanilla, something spicy, something in that fall category. This is very interesting, but this is not a safe blind buy. I don't know yet how I feel about this because I have sprayed this before and I've been like, oh my god, I love it. And then I spray and I'm like, oh my god, I hate it. And it's like a love-hate relationship. And I just don't know how this is going to perform, how long this is going to be in my collection for. It's very vintage smelling. There is a powderiness to it, but it's like immediately there's a medicinal amber, a very strong amber, similar in my carrelage Carus, is this not Secret Musk, amber gold or gold amber, which is still in the closet, and I'm considering gifting it to like my stepdad or my father for the holidays because I feel like it's a masculine perfume. This opens like that, but then immediately you start getting these fruits, and they're not fresh fruits. These are like fruits are like a day or two overripe, where they're almost to the point where you should either throw it away or just use it for a smoothie because it's like, it's not going to taste good. It's too ripe to eat like that. And then there's this undertone of like a smokiness that's kind of like an ashtray, which is weird. It's weird because it can easily be something that is not enjoyable. It can smell kind of dated, kind of vintage. This will probably transport you back to like being in your grandparents' house or something. Like, it has such a dated vibe, but there's something about it that attracts me and draws me in, and I don't know what that is. So similar to my experience with my Elie Saab Nuit Noire, it's one of these perfumes that I enjoy the smell. I like to smell it, but I don't know if I want to walk around smelling like this and having other people smell me. I feel like it's one of those things that it's like a guilty pleasure. Like, I love it, but I'm embarrassed to have others know that I love it, if that makes sense. My Nuit Noire is a beautiful perfume, but I have put it in my declutter pile because it, like I said in a previous video, it's something that I just don't know how I'm gonna wear it living in South Florida where it's always hot and I'm not even the right age for it. I feel like maybe if I was in my 70s I could pull it off, but even still, like if I lived in a place where it got really snowy, like very cold for several months out of the year, I would wear it during that snowy time because I feel like that cold weather, it would be kind of appropriate because it's a very rich, honey deep, jammy rose and very woody, but I just feel like I was never going to be able to use it. So I decanted for myself into a small atomizer, an amount for me to keep just for my pleasure, for my enjoyment, for me to spray on once in a while and smell it and enjoy it. And I went ahead and put it on my Mercari, and someone ordered it, and so it's already been sold. By the way, my Mercari will be linked below if you guys want to shop around for whatever it is that I'm decluttering, and my next video will probably be my declutter video, just so you're aware. But this one, I watched a couple of old YouTube videos about it. It came out in the year 2000. So this is a 25-year-old formulation. Some people were saying that this was still really, really good, really, really relevant. I think it's one of these perfumes that it's dirt cheap. It's not very well known, not very much talked about. Some people might think it doesn't smell good, but if you were to put this in a fancy bottle like this and release it under a very expensive niche company, no one would be the wiser and everyone would be raving about this brand new niche perfume. Something about it smells niche, and I think that's what it is that I'm drawn to. It smells challenging. It's a challenging perfume. It's not gross like Guidance, Amouage Guidance by Inal Arshwar, the dude. Like that to me is just, that's just gross. But it's not like a universally loved social, like this to me smells quite designer. It smells very designer. I like it. This is very mass appealing, Middle Eastern mass appealing, woohoo. You know, it's none of these. It smells like it's like a complicated niche perfume that some people might rave about, especially people with like a lot of experience with a lot of perfumes, and their nose starts to get kind of like bored of the same thing. And these are the people that you tend to start falling down the rabbit hole of niche and independent like made companies and you know, tiny little perfume houses that are making these really different, weird, not mass appealing perfumes because you just want to experience something different. This is challenging, and yet it was $22. You can still find this on eBay for like 30 something if you're curious about it, but it's not a safe blind buy. This is not going to be mass appealing. There is a sweetness, there is a vanilla, there is an amber, there's a lot of fruits, and there's something kind of like ashtray in there as well. Very strong, very rich, very much for the fall and winter season. The next one is also Malbusin, which I think is the opposite. This is Malbusin's Star. This is very mass appealing. I am so surprised. I've seen some people talk about how nice this is, and yet no one has said how similar this is to Bianco Latte, how similar this is to Lattafa's Eclair. Now, it's not exact because this one has something about it that is a little more complex, richer, deeper, slightly, I don't want to say smoky, but something in it is a little bit more resinous, kind of like Baby Cat. This is, someone mentioned on one of the reviews that it's as if Baby Cat and Bianco Latte had a baby, and I think that's what sold me, and I was like, oh my God, sold, I gotta get it. And I see what they mean. I see what they mean. It's like, it's not spicy, but almost maybe like a savory sort of saltiness, something resinous, something like I said, Baby Cat, I said before, it smells like there's like stone, like crushed stone, like rock, because I don't want to say it's salty, but you know that the salt of the earth, the flavor of like, if you've ever been a little kid and you picked up a rock and licked the rock, it tastes salty. It's kind of like that. But it's got the sweet caramel Bianco Latte kind of like base to it, like Eclair as well. It's very similar to Eclair, but it's not plasticky and it's not super sweet like Eclair. It's got that sweetness and that vanilla and that caramel vibe, but then it has something a little more serious. And it's hard for me to tell you what it is, but similar to Baby Cat has that little bit of like a serious vanilla, serious resinous vanilla, that this is kind of like that. And for the price, I feel like this is kind of a steal, and I'm very happy about this purchase because I love Baby Cat. I don't have Baby Cat, but I have Rificat, the Paris Corner dupe, and I have smelled a sample of the original Baby Cat. I find them to be very, very similar. I don't feel like I need to buy Baby Cat at all with my Rificat bottle. I'm happy, and I do have a backup for it, and now I have this too. This is really nice. This is really nice. So if you can't find Rificat where you live, or if it's too expensive where you live, and you want something kind of similar but more grown up, I mean, it is kind of like Baby Cat, kind of like Bianco Latte, kind of like Eclair, like all those kind of sort of. This is the one. Moving on to the next one is another one that I was still on my crazy vanilla hunt. I want something more. I was so obsessed with my Rificat. This is again a couple months ago, and I just got online and I got curious and I went down the rabbit hole and I found this on Fragrantica, and I ended up buying it on eBay. Was it eBay or Amazon? Maybe it was Amazon. I think I paid like $50 for this. This is a Zara perfume. It's called Cocoa and Latte, and this should be called suede latte. Because this one also, some people said it smells like if Baby Cat and Bianco Latte got together. Because, oh, okay. So this one, unlike Malbusin, has a tad bit of a cocoa scent, but it's not like a fake plastic chocolate. But because it's also so well blended with other things, there's a strong suede in this one. It's not leather, it's suede. Plus that Bianco Latte Eclair kind of base. So you got the cocoa, you got the Bianco Latte Eclair base, and then you have like a suede. So cocoa and suede. It's called Cocoa Latte, but I feel like it should be Cocoa Latte and suede, because that's what I'm really getting here. Unlike Star, doesn't have like a suede note. It's more like a resinous mixed with a Bianco Latte, kind of like that Baby Cat resinous. They say this is like Baby Cat, but I feel like because for some people, Baby Cat smells like it might have leather, and I don't think it has leather. I think it just has like LME and black pepper, and there's resins that make it smell leathery. But this one definitely has a more leathery suede vibe, along with a rich dark cocoa. It smells like a dark chocolate kind of thing, but it's not like an edible chocolate. This is not an edible smelling perfume, ironically enough, even though it smells like edible perfumes like Bianco Latte and all that. I feel like it's very unisex. A man and a woman can pull this off. It's one of those, you know, kind of, maybe sits close to the skin. It's not super loud and projecting, but that doesn't mean it's a weak perfume. It is strong, but I feel like some of these like warmer scents, they tend to sit closer. They don't project as loudly. I don't pick up on anything citrusy or sour or sharp or tart or floral. I really don't know what the notes are here, but this is what I'm getting. Vanilla, latte, suede, cocoa. So good, in my opinion. I don't pick up anything synthetic or anything like that. I find it to be quite interesting, and I'm definitely going to enjoy wearing that one. The next one I want to talk about, I talked about in one of my last videos when I had that encounter with the perfume sales people that came over to work, and I tried a sample and I was like, I really want it and I don't know what I should do, and I almost bought the dupe. I didn't buy the dupe from Maison Alhambra because I didn't want to have such a big bottle. I didn't want 100 milliliters. I just want a little bit. I just want to own a little bit. So I found this on Mercari, and maybe, yes, I would have saved a little bit more money. It would have been cheaper for me to buy the Maison Alhambra bottle, but it would have been a big bottle that would have had to macerate and sit in my collection for some time, maybe before it even smelled ready. Maybe not. Sometimes they come perfectly ready. I don't know, but it was kind of an impulse, and then I tried to cancel it, and the lady never canceled it. She had already just sent the message that she was going to drop it off at the mail. So now I'm like, well, I kind of don't know if I regretted this purchase, but it's not a bad smelling perfume at all. This is Tom Ford's Cafe Rose, and this is a 30 ml. Yes, 1 fluid ounce. I think I paid like $48. It would have been cheaper for me to get the 100 ml of Rose Origami by Maison Alhambra is the dupe for this. Now, when I first tried this, they gave it to me on a tester strip. I didn't put it on my skin, and on the tester strip, all I smelled was like a clean powdery rose, and I kind of liked it because it smelled kind of like a rich, deep, clean powdery rose. But I didn't get any coffee at all, and I mentioned that in the video that I made. But now that I own it and I put it on my skin and I've worn it, I do get coffee in the beginning. Like in the first spray, in the first few minutes, it's like a rich, deep, dark roast coffee with rose. But then as it dries, the coffee goes away, it doesn't come back. And then there's a little bit of coriander in here. I'm not sure if there's violet, but I do get some of that deep sort of like patchouli and coriander mixed with the sweet kind of powdery rose. Now this can smell very mature for some people. This can remind you a little bit of like your grandmother's rose scented little soaps that you're not allowed to touch. But like that coffee in the beginning is so attractive. I wish it lasted throughout the wear of the perfume, but it really doesn't. But I do smell a little bit of violet. And you know me, I've talked about it on other videos, my obsession with violet mixed with like yummy warm. And I've been on the quest for like a jammy rose for this fall season. So this has a little bit of a coffee, a little bit of a violet, and a little bit of rose. And then you got that patchouli and that coriander. I feel like this is exactly what I was looking for. So in the beginning, it's like, oh, it's kind of like a nice soft powdery grandma's rose. That was all just on a little paper card. But now that I've had a chance to wear it, this is almost exactly, almost what I was looking for. It is like a Vixen deep, dark, jammy rose. It's not syrupy, but I feel like it's a spicy rose with that coriander, and then you have that beautiful blue, yummy, candied violet mixing with the rose and the coffee. So it's got like this richness. It just has like this beautiful, rich, seductive rose scent. And I find it to be sexy, but I feel like it could smell mature. I feel like this is a perfume that a woman herself would love, but maybe the men won't love it. Like if you're single, if you're dating, or if the man that you're with might be like, I don't like it. I feel like people who are not very into fragrances, they like the easy stuff, you know, the sweet berry, vanilla, strawberry, you know, designer kind of easy smells, because their nose is not used to all that stuff. But if you're looking for something more challenging, something more for you, something a little bit more sophisticated, more elevated, something different that's kind of rich, this one's really good. I have not tried the Maison Alhambra dupe, but there is a dupe, so if you don't want to spend the money on this, you might want to try that, Rose Origami. But I kind of like this. I did wear it to work. I feel like it wasn't a super loud projector or even very long lasting. I reapplied it quite a lot, but I like it, and I think I am going to keep it in my collection. I like this very much. Speaking of rose and being on the whole quest for like a dark, jammy, patchouli, yummy, sexy, vampy rose, I bought this one quite a while back as well. This is a dupe for YSL Rouge Velour. This is called Velvet Rouge by Fragrance World. This was a complete blind buy. Almost all of these are blind buys, to be quite honest, with the exception of Replica, which I had sampled already, and BDK, which I had bought a dupe of it first and fell in love with it. Everything else is a blind buy. This is like it's a Chanel, Dior, expensive, old money, vintage, if you know, you know, kind of smell. This is not mass appealing. This is not cotton candy. This is mature, but sophisticated. This smells rich. And I really don't know, the juice is still kind of light colored. I think it's gonna get darker over time. I don't know what the original smells like, and I would love to smell it, but it's a very expensive bottle. On Mercari, they were selling like a little 30 ml decant for like $58. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. This is, oh my God, yes. So this is not sweet, not gourmand, but it's not sweet either. It's got the sweetness of rose, which is, you know, a subtle sweetness. It's not a sugar sweetness, not an orange blossom, it's not vanilla. And it has the sweetness of patchouli, which I understand patchouli can sometimes have a little bit of a nail polish removal smell, but this one is not too far where it like smells too much like that, but it does have a little bit of that, right? Combined with the way rose smells. Rose is like a tart sweetness on its own, but this doesn't have any rhubarb, at least I don't think. It doesn't have anything tart in it. And it's not jammy in the sense of like sweet jam, but it is kind of thick, you know? So it's perfect for the winter, perfect for the fall. It's got a very antique rose patchouli scent that for me is a winner. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I was looking for. Oh my God. I feel like it's very sophisticated, very mature. Another one that I'm worried about wearing in public because I feel like it might date me quite a bit, but I love it and I enjoy it and I don't plan to get rid of it. This is one that is for me, not for the masses, not for the people. I don't know how this is not talked about more. I find it to be incredibly sexy, especially now for the fall and winter and the holidays. Anyway, continuing on with my raving search and quest for the perfect fall rose, winter rose perfume. that Nuit Noir unfortunately did not fit the bill for because it was too much on the wood and honey. This is another one that is a little softer and a little bit more appropriate probably for spring and daytime than the one I just talked about. This is Secret de Rochas Rose Intense, and I bought this for like 20 bucks on Mercari. This is an old perfume, an old release, and this surprisingly has passion fruit in the notes, and I don't like passion fruit in perfumes. I do smell the passion fruit, but it's not bothering me here at all because of how well it's blended with everything else and the way and what it's blended with. There is rose in here, and it opens up kind of like tart, grapefruit, maybe the passion fruit is in the top notes with the rose. It's not super sweet, but it's not super patchouli like this. There's no coffee or anything like this. It's more that sourness with rose, but it's not Delina. Delina's got rhubarb and lychee, which are also very difficult notes for me. Those notes are like sweet, sour, but like tends to be too sour. Whereas this is like rose sour, but more towards the patchouli, like rose sour patchouli, not like rose sour lychee, which can smell kind of like an acidic, gross sweetness that is just, it's a little too repulsive for me. This has like a rose sourness that I kind of like, that is kind of leaning more perfumey and floral than it is like that kind of like rotten, super sweet fruit with the rose and the incense and all the stuff that Delina has that I just don't care for it. This is a lot nicer. This is a lot better. I don't know if this has any vanilla, but I very much appreciate it. And for the price, this is so cheap. I think this is much better than like a Delina brand, like a Delina DNA, like Maison Alhambra's Delilah, which is not a bad dupe for Delina. If you love Delina, that is a great dupe. I have it for sale on my Mercari. I don't want it. It's just not my favorite scent. I don't love the Delina scent. I do like the Delina Exclusive scent, and that's why I decided to keep my Rose Couture by Codlush. This is nothing like Delina. Nothing like it. But it is like the softer, more daytime, spring appropriate version of this, if that makes any sense. These two, this is more evening, more fall and winter. This you can pull off in an evening, in a fall, in a winter, or even during the day, even during the spring. It's just a little bit more of like a gentler, more playful version of this, if that makes any sense. Oh, yeah, that Rouge Velour, that patchouli, the longer you wear, the longer it passes since you sprayed it, the more sweet and chocolatey it seems to get. And then this one just has like a freshness, and I think it's from the fruits, the citrus, and maybe the passion fruit. I'm not sure, but I kind of like it here. The next one I want to talk about has been on my list and on my mind for so long, because I have Armani C. And I have a tiny amount left of a used bottle that I bought on Mercari of Armani C Fiore, which smells nothing like Armani C. It smells kind of like Love Don't Be Shy mixed with something more musky and more powdery. This is Armani C Intense. I think this is the 2021 one. I'm not sure. But let me tell you something. This is what I thought Armani C was going to smell like. Armani C is a nice perfume. I love it. It smells kind of like red wine. It doesn't last very long on me. So when I got this, immediately the smell was like, yes. It's similar to La Belle. It's got something in it that's very syrupy, jammy. I think there's blackcurrant. I know that there's rose. It's sweeter. I think there's like a ton of vanilla. This is so much. And there's something musky and powdery too that just, oh, it just smells so good. And I love this. Oh my God, there's something orangey in there too. And I wore it. The problem I'm having is the same problem I have with Armani C. This doesn't last. I'll spray it like I spray every other perfume, and I'll smell it for maybe like the first hour or half hour. Then I can't find it anymore. I can't smell it anymore. Even when I stick my nose to my skin, it's gone. I'll sometimes spray like inside my shirt in my scrubs so that if I want to get a whiff, I just kind of go like this and it kind of comes up. or I'll stick my nose in my scrubs and I'm like, ooh, I smell my perfume. I couldn't smell it anymore. I don't know if other people smell it on me and maybe I just go nose blind, or if the performance of the C perfumes is just not that great. But that is my only gripe with this perfume, because it is a beautiful perfume. I'm very much reminded of Jean Gauthier's La Belle, but without that very strong kind of pungent leather note that it has. This is so beautiful, but buyer beware. I don't feel like the performance is great. Moving on to the next one, I've talked about in one of my last videos. I got a travel size of it because I was very curious to try it, and I fell in love with it. So I found this also on Mercari for about $89. This is a full size 100 ml 3.4 ounce of Note Vanille by M. Micallef. M. Micallef is a very expensive brand. You go to buy this brand new, you're gonna pay over $100. I got it for $89. It came with a small dent, but I did use some of it. The juice already has a little bit of a purpley color, but I've seen some bottles how they get when time passes, that it turns into a rich, dark, almost like my furniture, like a dark purple. And that's what I'm hoping will happen. Even my sample was very dark purple, like darker than this. So I have this now, and I love it. It is similar to Vanilla 28 by Kayali. It's got a powderiness, a spiciness. It's a rich, delicious, sweet vanilla, and I love it. But there is no but. Why am I saying but? Oh, I feel like there's patchouli in there too, because I can smell something in the base that smells like patchouli, and I love it. The price, I guess that's all I wanted to say. Hang on, is this coming off? Oh, the price tag. I don't know what's more expensive, this or Vanilla 28. I got it used for $89. So look around on Mercari, look around on eBay. Be careful with eBay. You don't have to pay the $150, but if you look at Kayali, their little bottles, their 50 ml bottles, and then their big bottles, I think the big bottle is 100 ml and is more expensive than this. So if you like Kayali 28, maybe this one is the better option. And I feel like the bottle is so much prettier, more sophisticated. It's just, it's so funny. I looked at myself, I looked big. This is beautiful. Elegant, rich. There's not much complexity to it. It smells similar to Vanilla 28, but like, I like it more. I don't know, maybe it's my bottle bias. I don't know what it is that smells different, but this is gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, I got 3 perfumes left, and then we're gonna wrap up this video. This one was a straight up impulse blind buy on Mercari. I had been down the rabbit hole for vanillas, and I saw the OG, and it's very expensive. And people talked about how it was spicy, smells kind of like Christmas, a perfect vanilla. Some people don't like it. Just like every other perfume, you're gonna read some good and bad reviews. But I got this for 30 bucks, and I was like, I think it's not bad. 30 bucks, barely had a dent. Like, the person must have ordered it, blind bought it, didn't like it, and sold it. And at first, when I first got it and I sprayed it, at first, for like a second, I was like, oh no, this smells a little bit mature, a little vintage, a little dated, kind of pissy, like weird, like what is this? But then it started to develop. It started to evolve, started to like turn into something that I was like, this is kind of interesting. And then I wore it for work, and it was so addicting, such an addictive smell. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. I couldn't get enough of it. I reapplied it. Someone walking behind me said, it smells like Christmas. This is called Vanilla Drama by Fragrance World, and this is duping Dior's Vanilla Diorama. Not a safe blind buy by any means. I feel like for me it was a win because I have a very broad spectrum. My nose tends to like a lot of things. Like I said, this has a vintagey, almost pissy kind of smell, especially straight out of the atomizer, but I think it's the spices in it. I don't know if there's cinnamon in here. I want to say maybe there's clove. This is not a cupcake vanilla. This is not a Bianco latte vanilla. This isn't even a Kayali 28 or a Note vanilla by M. Micallef. This has vanilla. It's got a the smell is very yellow, very much like the color of this juice, very yellow. I don't think there's any yellow floral or ylang, but I do smell spices, and it does smell like Christmas. It smells like an eggnog, or like some sort of a Christmas beverage that like has all these Christmas clove spices. I left a long detailed review on Fragrantica if you want to go check it out. I just got so into it, and it's got like a vintage old world vibe with a beautiful Christmassy spicy clove vanilla. And I just like it. I like it. I love it. I find it's comforting. This is not sexy. This is not, I'm gonna eat you up. Like, this is more for you. Like, this is comforting. It's a little bit mature. This is not safe. I feel like not everyone's gonna love this, but I love it. So it was a success. I'm glad, because I've blind bought a lot of things and some of them are not a success. This is not modern smelling at all, but it's beautiful. It's classic smelling. Down to the last two. I ordered this one because I have the intense version. This is Gucci Guilty Eau de Toilette. I don't know if you can see it there. Gucci Guilty Eau de Toilette, not EDP. Why did I get this? I don't know. I think I was reading a lot of reviews, and I have Gucci Guilty EDP Intense, and someone mentioned how the EDT is so much better. And I didn't buy or even try the EDP regular. I have the EDP Intense, and I just went straight to the EDT. Because this is like the fresh daytime, springtime version of the EDP Intense, which I have. So I found this on eBay. This was not cheap. I haven't worn it yet. It's a very freshy, fresh out of the shower, good for a hot day, good for a spring, summer day, good for bed. Easygoing perfume. I feel like maybe you can get this kind of scent profile in a lot of different things. I don't think I needed to go like the Gucci route, but it's something about the violet notes in this line that just draws me in, and I'm very happy to have it. I did try a sample of this. This was not a blind buy. I did try a small sample, and I remember thinking it smelled really beautiful. I think I talked about it in one of my last videos, sitting in my car trying a bunch of samples. And I'm letting the bottle sit for a while. I think it has bottle shock from the shipment because I find it a little hard to smell now. Like, I feel like it's kind of weak. I'm hoping that with age and time and it sitting, it gets a little better. Or maybe my nose right now is super, super, overwhelmed with all these rich, deep fall scents that I have right now. But I feel like when the summertime hits and it's a nice hot day, that's going to be a perfect one. Down to my very, very, very last one. This one is another one that I did try the sample of in my last video when I went over my replica samples. This is Lazy Sunday Morning by Replica, and I fell in love with this. This is another one that I think needs to sit. I think there's bottle shock because I did test the sample, and the sample was probably old. I bought that whole kit for like $17, and a lot of the little samples were halfway sprayed out. So this is a brand new bottle. It came wrapped in the cellophane, and the sample that I had opens up very like fresh, clean, musky, aldehydic, soapy, and then in comes that beautiful classic vintage patchouli, and I loved it. Not everybody's gonna like that, but I think it's very comforting. Hang on. There's a sweetness that's like a floral sweetness. I don't think there's any vanilla or gourmand notes here at all. This is a very, see, I can't smell it now. Okay, there it is. Very clean, fresh out of the shower, lazy Sunday morning, right? It just smells so refreshing and good and clean, and I'm gonna love this for the summer. But it also has that beautiful vintage patchouli in the dry down that I love. I love patchouli. I don't feel like it's too strong. I don't feel like it smells too old. It's like vintage perfume for young people, if that makes any sense. This one's beautiful. I love it. But again, I don't recommend blind buying just because I do it. Don't do as I do, right? Like, do as I say, not as I do. Buy and buy things at your own risk, guys. If I buy things that I don't love, as time passes, I sell them. As my collection grows, if I see it growing too out of hand, I realize I need to start decluttering and getting rid of some things that I don't like. So I sell them. I don't always make all my money back. I pay for the shipping. A lot of people on Mercari don't offer to pay for shipping. So when I buy things on Mercari, I pay for the shipping too. But when I sell perfumes, I pay for the shipping myself, just so that it helps people want to buy it better. Or rather, it helps people want to buy it because they see, oh, the shipping's free. because a lot of times I just want to move them along. Is there a cost that I lost by buying it at a certain price and then maybe selling it at a discounted price and paying for shipping? Sure. But I look at that cost as the amount of time that I enjoyed the perfume, that I got to use and wear the perfume. It's better than, you know, giving the perfumes away or throwing them away or donating them and not making anything off of them. So I just sell them along and I'll find something else. And when I find something else, it's usually discounted. It's usually, you know, on the secondhand market. I'm not paying full price for them. So it's kind of a wash, I feel. So all these are new to my collection, and I think I did count them in when I counted all my perfumes, and I mentioned in the last video how many I had. I think I have like a total of 174, 175, something like that. I need to declutter a little bit further because I'd like to be at 150 or less. I don't want to have more than 150. I definitely don't want to be one of these people that has 200, 300, 400, 500 bottles. But this is everything in my collection for now, and these are all the new ones. Let me know in the comments if you're familiar with any of these perfumes, if you've ever tried them, what do you think of them, if there's anything you might be curious about. And I really hope you like this video. Please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. And I'll see you guys in the next one.